There you go.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to this week's episode of, what is it we're talking about today?
Wise Women of Wealth Creation.
This is the job here, isn't it? For those spiritually minded women who want to empower themselves financially. Now, for those of you that have been following our journey, this is really a journey for all of us, isn't it? It's something that we're doing as we're going along. It's not something we've gone through and are now teaching. We're actually going through it as we are telling you about it as well. So I've yet to catch up with one aspect of it, but these two ladies are well and truly in the throes of that. And so this week we are going to be touching on
Physical body.
Physical body. So, of course, coming back to the whole concept of wealth creation, just to remind you, and for those of you that don't know, the whole concept isn't necessarily just lined up with finances, is it? I mean, it's all about our mental wealth, our physical wealth, our romantic wealth, the relationship wealth that we have in our life, and our personal wealth that we have within our careers, and how we feel about ourselves, you know. And it's something that's very much the fundamentals of the whole concept of having wealth within your life. So as Wise Women of Wealth Creation, we've decided to join in collaboration with Julianne, who has channeled a lot, in fact, all of these messages that we're bringing you today, only tidbits of, because, you know, we hope to bring something bigger with it next year in 2021. And I'm going to let Julianne carry on from this point. So today, talking about the physical wealth is all about how we take care of ourselves on a nutritional basis. So how really does that impact us?
Okay, so if I come in then and just bring to the table what I was given spiritually, and that is that there is an imprint in our body, like a barcode, like a DNA, and it's the imprint of all our experiences, and that is stored in the muscle, in cells, in the bone, in the blood. But it can be a barrier and a block to keep us in the same pattern, because we've got that encoding going off. You know, familiar is not just in the mind and our experiences, it's in the body as well. And so what I was asked to do was, do you know what, you want to change your barcode, then detox, cleanse, clear, move your clutter, be more healthy, detox, declutter, decode what is in the physical body. Which I find very fascinating, actually, because I paid attention to my mind, paid attention to spirit. We look at our physical money pattern and how we manage it, but I've never actually gone into the body. So I'm going to hand it over to Lucy, because this is your specialist domain, sweet, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and I think it's so interesting, this whole mind body spirit connection. And like you said, that's how it's all ties up into our wealth creation patterns, our money patterns, our self-worth, how we value ourselves, and allowing your body to go through kind of a detox and healing process is so different to the traditional diet, which obviously so many of us have grown up in a diet culture, which, like, our mum was trying to lose weight, and my grandma, I remember giving me a Rosemary Connolly How to Lose Weight in 8 weeks book. Yeah.
Oh, really? It's fine.
It's when I was like dancing at theatre school and stuff, and like all that old school kind of methods, which, you know, they can work, but it's not looking at the body at a cellular level. So I really believe in detoxing the body at least twice a year. You can do it 3 or 4 times, even better. Just as you would take your car for a service and MOT, right? It's allowing your body to do that, just allowing it to cleanse, reset, go back to how it naturally should be, as it was our ancestors were. You know, what did they eat? They ate meat and fish that they caught, and, you know, fruit and veg from the land. And really that's it, and we can real overcomplicate it, but actually if we just give our body that basic nutrients. But the problem is, say you go to eat a orange from the supermarket today, that has, you know, something like 8 times less the nutritional value of what our grandparents' oranges would have had. Because the ground, how it's farmed, the soil, how food travels. You know, you can get strawberries now in the middle of November. Well, you know, in the olden days, you know, our grandparents' era, you would only get them when they were growing in the British fields in summertime. That was it. That's the only time you could eat strawberry. You don't eat it any time of year. So what I kind of believe we need to do is supplement, give ourselves the right kind of nutrition, just supplement a really healthy whole foods diet to just allow that reset. And gut health is a huge one. There's a great book called, literally just called Gut, and that explains everything with like that mind body kind of connection, and it all starts in the gut. Your immunity, your mental health. If your gut flora and fauna is out of balance, you will probably be suffering with poor skin, tiredness, lack of energy, maybe weight gain. And again, doing some kind of detox, it just allows your gut to just heal and process and get everything through that it needs to, and yeah, reset, and you do feel amazing. So yeah.
Well, like we said, it's because there'll be people that are watching this and listening to this and thinking, what has that got to do? Just show me the money. What is that going to do? That? And you know what? That's the mindset that really needs to be challenged, because all too much and all too quick are we asking for things to be happening straight away for us without putting any effort into it. We don't want to put the hard work into it that's required. And why should it come to us so easily? It is hard to do the detox thing. I mean, these two lovely ladies are doing it. I would struggle. I'm openly saying that because of I love sugar. What can I say? I like a cup of tea with sugar in it. And yes, this has got one in. I'm going to aim, because there's no point in me saying, do as I say, not as I do. That's the whole concept is that we're trying to go through this program where we are cleaning out toxicity. Now, if you've got toxicity in your mind, when it comes to money, you ain't going to have much. You're not going to have much of it to hold on to. It's not going to stay with you. So, like we were saying before, you tend to have done in the past, you've done these detoxes loads of times, and you know that if you don't do it, you know that it starts to affect your mental process and how you think and feel about things. You've got to have all cylinders firing in order for your business to be a success. Yeah. So it does play a massive part in that, because if you haven't got the good engine for your body to do what it needs to do, you're not going to be able to deliver in your business.
Yeah, like you're saying, it's just and I think instead of treating it like old school diets where you maybe calorie restrict or you count points or something, that's almost punishing yourself to want to look or feel a certain way. This is an act of radical self-love, I believe, doing this kind of 30-day detox. Yes, it requires prep, it requires a mindset, but actually I feel like I'm really treating my body nicely. And that's also things like I'll have Epsom salt baths in the evening. That's also helping the detox process, but just giving yourself that time to self-care. It can be real counterintuitive, especially if you're a woman in business. And I know what this is like. You want to be doing, running all the time. And sometimes it's easy to like grab fast food, grab a sandwich from the petrol station, but you end up feeling terrible, and it affects your mood and everything. Whereas actually allowing yourself that little bit more time to chop up that veg or do a bit of meal prep and really give your body the nutrients it needs, it will pay you back tenfold in your energy levels, your clarity of mind, how you sleep, which then means you can attract more and magnetize more money to you and more opportunities and the right people, because your vibration is higher.
Yeah, exactly.
And everything we ingest, what we drink, what we eat, everything, it has an impact. So yeah, like you say, it can be like, how does what you eat affect how much money you're going to earn? It absolutely does, because it comes down to self-worth, and put rubbish in, you're going to get rubbish out every time. So yeah.
And is that, are you committed? How committed are you?
That's it is. And it for me, it is about breaking familiar behaviour as well. Where we've been in our money pattern is also where we have been in our life. It's what we do day in, day out. It's familiar, it's comfortable, and that cycle needs to be broken. So the more we come into awareness, the more we look at it, the more we become conscious, awaken and aware. I just think, I know what my body is holding. I can feel it. And as a start to detox, I can feel it clearing. I can feel it, and
that is amazing.
And I think there is a lot out there. There's two things coming up for me, is that we have to look and accept where we are when we're creating our potential, our purpose, meaning, whether it's health, wealth, whatever the subject, we've got to actually come into being aware of the starting point, because that starting point governs the next step. So there's a lot of fast track stuff out there. But to me, unless you know where your point of attraction is, your point of health and wealth is, you can't necessarily just go to it like that. It takes a dedication, it takes a commitment, it takes your will, It takes all of you, because we have been conditioned, we have been defined and confined by certain structures in our society as women. We're breaking those. Everything's crumbling. So, of course, the code within has to, in my mind.
Absolutely. And it's like peeling the layers off the onion as well, isn't it? Like what's really down deep stuff. So yes, you can maybe, I don't know, go and make whatever in so much time on a certain program, but actually fundamentally at your core, you're not feeling healthy, you're not feeling vibrant because you don't feel you're worthy of it. You'll spend it or lose it as far as you've made it.
Exactly.
And we've all done that.
Absolutely.
And you know, we are in this culture of wanting to, again, it goes back to the last conversation you had about your social and cultural sort of environment that you've grown up in around this. And we are in a culture where everything happens quickly. Say yes to having it fast. You want it instant cash. You know, you get these shops that pop up to give you instant cash, or you're selling your soul to the devil in the meantime to get it. Or drop this weight in this many days. And it's like, why do you want it to be so quick? Because if you haven't gone through anything to achieve it, it's not going to stay with you. It's not going to last. You're not going to have that for life. You're not going to have the longevity of it. And if you're okay with having something quick, because you need to fit into this dress for Christmas or this too, and you're okay to slob out afterwards, you need to be okay with it. You need to be really okay with that and not complain to your friends, family, colleagues about life and how, you know, it's not going your way if you're happy to live your life like that on a day-to-day basis. I mean, I'm the same regarding the detox and stuff. I've got to take ownership of that because, you know, with rheumatoid arthritis, sugar is a massive part of the inflammation within the blood, and you know, the blood's being too acidic, and you have to do something about that. It comes to a point where you have to do something about that. And I'm not a fan of pill popping and things like that. And you know, I think we get to that point where we have to. Do you think we all have to get to the point where our backs are against the wall before we take action?
Responsibility is key, isn't it? I think if we really have a desire to change, we don't have to have our backs against the wall. But if they
rather than giving away, I know I'm very aware that I'm giving away my power in order to achieve. You know, like by me saying that I'll do it if I'm under the cosh, or if my life, like I said to you earlier, if my life depended on it, I'd give up sugar. Why do we? I know.
And you could prolong the length of your life. Now, like I'm not a doctor. Just disclaimer: I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist.
Yes.
I'm just talking from personal experience here. But I'm sure you could extend the years and the healthy years of your life by cutting sugar now. And you know, you don't have to cut it all out forever. That's why I love it. It's 30 days. Like just 30-day detox. I say reset. Let that car have its MOT. Now, am I going to go back to eating absolute rubbish on day 31? Absolutely not. But you can reintroduce a little bit of the things you like. For me, it's absolutely a glass of red wine at the weekend. For you, it's your sugar or your biscuits, whatever. So it's just allowing the body a few times a year to have a bit of a reset. And then I kind of work it that when I'm off a detox plan, I'll do 80% healthy habits, 20% a bit of the stuff I like, just so you've got that balance. So it's never that dramatic. You can never eat that bit of bread again or have that biscuit or that glass of wine ever again. But yeah, for me, I don't feel I've done it because I've had a health scare or a health threat. But for me, I want to be someone that can still go out jogging in my 50s and 60s, or, you know, there's still health potential I want to reach. I'm about to be 35 and I still want to do yoga on like a paddleboard. Why not? Couldn't physically do that right now. So there's definitely health goals and ambitions, but it's
not just ambitious.
I don't want to be
yoga on a paddleboard.
Why not though? Why not?
It's just not. It's just not physically possible.
It's absolutely possible.
Have you seen people do it?
Yeah.
That board doesn't stay still enough for you to adopt a position.
Yeah.
Oh
people do it. Yeah. So yeah, but I just want to be really healthy into my later life and not relying on meds and doctors and completely.
Where do you get that from? At 35 years old, having had no scare or anything, where do you get that from? Where do you get that fire from? That desire?
My mum is very healthy. How she eats, she's always been vegetarian and healthy vegetarian, not this like, you know, fake meat products, always lentils and pulses and veggies and stews and, you know, real healthy food. So I think that's been an inspiration. She's, you know, very well and healthy physically into her 50s. And I think it's just you know, part of the business I have, it is education on nutrition. I've just learned loads about it over the last 8 years, and prevention really is better than cure, and you really can heal your body. I mean, if you look at like Louise Hay's story,
Absolutely.
healed herself from cancer with the things you eat, things you pour into your mindset, the people that you're around. Like we're saying in every episode here, it's all connected. It's mind, body, spirit, soul. It's everything. So it's you've got to take care of yourself holistically. So you couldn't just do the nutrition and exercise and not look after what's going on in your soul, which is why Julianne's might be so important.
So why are you doing it now, Julianne, with the detox and thing? What's bringing it back for you?
I think it's really coming into my awareness just how my behaviour, my eating habits and everything are a limitation. I want better health. I want natural health. Inspiration, innovation, and more natural energy. And plus, when I look, you know, I look at what has been brought through spiritual, and I think, all my past, the trauma, some of the pain, it is encoded. Some of the, you know, women taking a position, what's gone down my feminine lineage about women not having money, not wealth creating, sitting under the masculine. All of that is in my imprint. I don't want it anymore, and it's as simple as that. And if you don't want it, do something about it. And I've been putting it off, and yet my intuition's been screaming. It's like your body needs to detox. Wow. So spiritually, I've been getting it. Don't listen. Like, why is that? Why is that? Because there's a bit of fear going into the unfamiliar, into the unknown. But you know what? Into the unknown, I believe we have to go and get familiar with what we don't know. So doing it is the key. You know, when we talk about results, if you act, you will get the result you want.
So you're basically, in my mind, what I'm hearing you saying is, if we detox our bodies and clean ourselves, we are able to wash away the imprint that's encoded in our cells from our lineage that is all to do with their core issues and beliefs and thought processes around money.
It's
around
part of it.
Life.
It's part of it. And okay, there is a lot more parts, but yes, it is a part of it to me on creating new energy. When we create new energy, and I don't know what your take on this will come to you in a bit, Lucy, but for me as a channel, it's when we create new energy, when we put our mind and our body into new energy, the old will dissolve. And that's what this is saying, dissolve it by going into the new.
Wow.
What's your thoughts on
Yeah,
that?
completely. Like that, like you say, the elimination of toxins through what you're physically doing, like I say, is dissolving the old stagnant energy that's holding you back and limiting you.
Yeah.
That makes complete sense in my mind. And I like what you said, you know, this healing and this detox process, it's part of a puzzle of that wealth creation. Yes. But for me, it's a real part that I can really tangibly take charge of and empower myself with. It's certainly, for me, different things flow easier to different people. For me, that's a real, I can choose what I want to put in my my drinks, my food, how I want to eat, how much sleep I get. That's actually something that's 100% in my control. I'm not kind of like, oh, can I, you know, manifest that or anything. It's tangible. So for me, that's quite like a practical thinker and doer type person. That is really helpful because I know I can take charge of that. Yeah.
Well, I think that brings today's session nicely to a close. It's been lovely chatting about that. And thank you for watching, for those of you who have watched here on Zoom. And join us next time where we look more into the soul work of it all, the inner work. What are you doing on an inner basis? And also a few of with your downloads that you've had, there's been some pressure points and tapping that's been brought into it.
It does look, yes, it goes deep into the spiritual.
Brilliant.
I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you very much.